Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today we're having a look at a Hornby locomotive, as you can see, and you can probably tell instantly from the shape of the locomotive that this is indeed a ex-London North Eastern Railway Gresley A4 class. And I say ex because it's quite clearly in British Railways Brunswick Green livery. And you can also tell that this is the older Hornby packaging. Now I know it's quite similar, the front of them is quite similar on the newer ones, but this one is definitely the older style packaging with the split polystyrene box. You can see that the product code is R2340 BR462 Class A4 and it's called Golden Plover number 60031. If you turn to the side, it says exactly the same thing. It says it's DCC ready, but I have already fitted it with a actually no, it came second hand and it was already fitted with a decoder, and it's also had firebox glow installed, so you'll see those features in a moment. If we turn to the back, you can see you get tons of information about the A4, and you even get a real picture of Golden Plover. But if you'd like to read, I'll just pause it for a second. There we go. So the A4s, they don't really need an introduction because they're definitely one of the most famous steam locomotives ever built in the UK. But they were a class of 35 streamlined engines built between 1935 and 1939 to the design of Sir Nigel Gresley for the London North Eastern Railway. And they were built to work the top link expresses along the East Coast Main Line between King's Cross and Edinburgh. They performed these tasks right up until about 1963, when withdrawals began. When the Class 55 Deltics were introduced, these locomotives were withdrawn from top link jobs. About 16 of them were sent to Scotland to work expresses between Edinburgh, Glasgow, Dundee, Aberdeen, Inverness, all the Scottish cities basically. But the final withdrawal came in 1966. Thankfully, 6 locomotives have been preserved, including one of them, which obviously is very, very famous for breaking the world speed record for steam traction. Of course, Mallard in 1938 reached a speed of 126 miles per hour. Of course, that is something which needs to be mentioned whenever talking about the A4s. That was obviously the A4s. Possibly the A4's greatest achievement. Another one was in 1959, number 6007 Sir Nigel Gresley reached a speed of 112 miles per hour, and she became the fastest steam locomotive in the BR era, basically. So yeah, but thanks, 6 are preserved, including Mallard and Sir Nigel Gresley. There's 2 which were donated to museums across in North America, one of them in Canada, the other one in the United States, and 4 of them remain in the UK. At the time of making this video, only one of them is operational, and that's Sir Nigel Gresley. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put the box to one side, and we're going to bring the locomotive. Now, as mentioned, the locomotive is not in the box, but here she is. Wow. Wow, what can I say? Aside from the fact that it's an A4, I'm just turned the light, yep, there we go. Aside from the fact that it's an A4, what else can I say? She's absolutely stunning. The level of detail on her is amazing. These 2 lights, I've added them myself as usual, and they are actually added using black tack. Which isn't very noticeable. It's better than using blue tack. But let's start at the front. You get sprung buffers, as you would expect, and just look at that iconic front end. I mean, it's unlike any other locomotive in the UK. It's beautiful. There's the nameplate, Golden Plover, which looks nice, but I am actually going to fit etched nameplates onto it. Just look at the wheels and just look how intricate the valve gear is. It's really, really nice. You get the speedo cable. Of course, this locomotive, this represents a locomotive in the 1960s, as evident by its shed code, which is 65B. If it focuses, no, it doesn't want. No, it's too bright. Yeah, shed code 65B, which is St. Rollox. And you get the modern high voltage stickers as well. So this would have been based at St. Rollox in the 1960s, just before withdrawal. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. You get the handrail running along both sides of the loco, the whistle, double chimney. You get all this lubricate. Oh, actually, it's not there. No, the lubricator linkage is not there. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if all the A4s were fitted with that, but anyway, but it's okay. But I mean, the valve gear is very intricate as it is. Sticker again. You get the safety valves at the top, and the one feature I really like is the cab roof vents, which do actually slide. This is unlike the railroad model, which I had, which was actually of Mallard in BR livery number 60022. I decided to go for this one because this is more detailed. The Mallard model, it looked really nice, but it was a railroad model which wasn't as detailed. But this one's still, but this one is, yeah, that one was still really, really nice, but yeah, but this one is excellent. If we turn to the cab, you can see you get loads of detail. You get the regulator and all the dials and stuff, and you do get the. This one, of course, this one was a second-hand model, and the previous owner did fit a firebox glow. I know it does look quite crude, because this huge LED, it's not discreet at all. I do understand that. I mean, this huge LED bulb just basically pokes out of the firebox. Yeah, it's not very realistic, but the effect is really, really nice. You know, the actual lighting effect is really nice, but the cab itself looks really, really nice as well. So yeah, all in all, the engine just looks. What can you do? I mean, what can you say? It's an A4. How can you not love an A4? They are just majestic locomotives. Let's put the engine down, and we'll have a look at the tender, which obviously doesn't have as many features as the engine, but it still looks really nice. There you get the fireman. In the other cab, obviously you saw the driver. Here's the fireman. You get the water scoop lever, and just get the. Where's the handbrake? It's a bit unusual. Actually, no, this one doesn't have a water scoop. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, actually, it would have. I'm not too sure. But the handbrake. The handle for the handbrake would have been where the fireman is, but anyway, there's the front of the tender. Looks really, really nice. The livery is spot on both the engine and the tender. You get the lake crest. You get real coal, which obviously has been added by the previous owner, but it looks really nice. And as you can see from this bulge in the tender, and obviously from the corridor connection, this is a corridor tender, and from what I can tell, this is one of the ones that was built for the A4s. So some of the A4s, 10 of them had A3, A1, A3 corridor tenders, but some of them had obviously corridor tenders which were specially built for the A4s. Some of them weren't fitted with corridor tenders at all. And you can see there's the door which allows access for the crew, and this was obviously done so that the crews on the non-stop journeys between London and Edinburgh on the East Coast Main Line, the crew could obviously change locomotives. Well, not locomotives, but basically the crew. So the engine would depart London with crew based at King's Cross, and in the coaches, the crew based at usually based at Edinburgh, or obviously wherever the train was heading, they'd be seated. And when it was time to swap crews, they'd be able to change them without the train needing to stop. That's the best way I can explain it. But yeah, but the detail on the corridor tender looks really nice, and sprung buffers, as you would expect, as well. So yeah, all in all, see, fantastic model. But looks are one thing. How does she perform? Let's find out. So here we have the beautiful Hornby A4 golden plover on the track. And just to show the firebox glow, which of course is not part of the model ready to run, there we go. So it's very, despite the fact that the bulb does stick out, it's still very, very effective. Anyway, let's select a number and watch her go. Wow, as you would expect, just glides along the rails. Wow. Let's get a few shots of her passing. Yeah, just what you would expect from an A4. Absolutely beautiful runner. Just to conclude this video, highly recommended. Yeah, any livery, any tender. I think there's tender variations a bit. If you can get one, I definitely recommend it. Hornby A4 is fantastic. There's no other words to describe her. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.